Kuro made a mistake with their anniversary. Admittedly, calling it a mistake might be a touch unfair. There's nothing inherently wrong with an anniversary patch, but to be more accurate, I'd say Kuro missed the mark with this one. Coming off the back of 2.2, widely considered one of the game's best patches, expectations for 2.3 were sky high. The cinematic story experience alone took many players' breath away, mine included. The 2.3 livestream ran for nearly 2 hours, suggesting a wealth of content was on the way. Instead, what we got felt like a 90-minute edging session that left many people blue-balled to the point of convincing themselves that there had to be more coming. Well, part 2 was just around the corner. And honestly, at the time, there was nothing wrong with holding out hope. We all want to believe the developers have something up their sleeves, but as 2.3 winds down, it's time to call a spade a spade. 2.3 was, frankly, kind of turbo ass. We had a cube combat event and 2 glorified login events with a few snazzy rewards, and to top it all off, the famous pulling event. I do respect the effort that went into creating the cube characters, no doubt about it. The visuals and skills looked pretty well crafted and must have taken time to get right and fit, into the whole cube atmosphere. But at the end of the day, what truly matters is how players feel when they play the game. And for many of us, myself included, it was underwhelming. Like getting served a pizza but without any cheese, kind of underwhelming. Worse still was the feeling of sometimes feeling a little gaslit by certain segments of the community who insisted that the patch would somehow transform into something amazing if we just wait a little longer. Honestly though, I can't blame them when Kuro was on such a winning streak up until then. In truth, it wasn't an awful patch. It was just painfully mediocre. And I've been turning that thought over in my head, trying to put my finger on exactly why it felt so hollow. For the longest time, whenever someone popped into my stream and asked what I thought about 2.3, I found myself kind of at a loss for words. I had a gut feeling, but no way to properly articulate it until I saw the 2.4 live stream, and then everything clicked into place. The 2.4 live stream was a very welcomed one, a stark contrast to the edging session of 2.3. 2 story acts, each promising twists and surprises. Cardathir and Looper in particular left us all pretty stun-locked. They showcased multiple combat events, including Crisis Trials, which I genuinely believe is their best combat event, and I'm very excited to see the revamped version, new holograms, new Echo sets, and a long-awaited Echo battling event, something players have wanted since 1.0, and shows that the devs are listening to player feedback in so many different areas. Of course, we'll need to see how it actually lands when the patch drops. Promises are easy, but delivery is where it truly counts. But from the outset, it's clear that the devs have listened to community feedback. And as a side note, please bring back Depths of Elusive Realm. I've got a whole video coming up on that, so make sure to subscribe. They wrapped the whole live stream in 45 minutes, complete with a polished set and production values that screamed, "We're serious about this game." That's worlds apart from the 1.0 livestream that we got at launch. To top it all off, they released a roadmap of upcoming characters, which is critical not just for short-term excitement, but for building long-term retention. Players need to know there's something to look forward to and save for. After seeing that livestream, I and others thought, who cares if 2.3 was turbo ass if this is what we have to experience next? 2.4 looks positioned to deliver on everything that makes Wuthering Waves special, and that clarity highlighted exactly why 2.3 felt so off to me. The anniversary is supposed to be a celebration of everything a game does right. It's a chance to remind long-term players why they chose this gacha over the others, and to show new players what they've been missing out on. It's also a time to shower the community with rewards and make everyone feel appreciated. But the 2.3 anniversary missed this crucial step entirely. Instead of highlighting what makes Wuthering so special, its engaging combat, its rich narrative, it gave us cute cubes and little else with rewards that felt too sparse. It almost felt like a marketing gimmick, one that didn't align with what the game stands for. For many players, it raised uncomfortable questions about the game's direction, whether Kuro was drifting away from what made Wuthering Waves great in the first place. And I understand that concern. Also, when you're let down by a patch, then you're met with endless debates from the community about whether you're even allowed to feel disappointed or you're wrong for feeling a certain way. It can make you question whether or not it's worth engaging with the game altogether. Of course, some will say, it's just a filler patch, go play something else for a while. And sure, it's not a bad piece of advice to give, but when a patch that took 2 hours to announce ends up feeling so inconsequential, empty, shallow, especially when it's an anniversary patch, which is supposed to be a big moment, players are left with an emptiness that's hard to ignore. To me, that's enough of a reason to say this just wasn't up to scratch. Thankfully, 2.4 has reassured me that 2.3 might just be a blip in the Tethys matrix, a temporary misstep in an otherwise promising trajectory, because Wuthering, since 2.0, had one of the best comebacks in gacha history. In the face of mounting competition, it's more important than ever for Wuthering Waves to stay true to what makes it unique. There's no future in you trying to be everything to everyone. To be fair though, Wuthering Waves has delivered more than I ever expected it to. I initially came for the combat, but I've stayed because of the rich, engaging storytelling and the striking character designs. The improvements since 1.0 have been no doubtedly significant, and it's clear that Kuro is committed to raising the bar overall. The new baseline of what's considered good means that anything less than the standard stands out immediately, but honestly, that's a good problem to have. It's also worth remembering, it's hard to see change day to day when you're deeply involved with the game. Just like working out, you don't notice the progress until you take a step back and compare where you started to where you are now. And that's exactly what I see with Wuthering Waves. It's been consistently delivering, despite the occasional misstep. Recency bias is real, and it's only natural that players judge a game by its latest patch. But over the long run, what matters is the trend, and so far, that trend is up. 2025 and 2026 are shaping up to be stacked for gacha games. Competition is fierce and only the best will survive. That's why it's crucial to hold developers accountable when they miss the mark and to acknowledge when they get it right. If Wuthering Waves can stick to its strengths, if it can continue to build what makes it stand out, I think we're in for a bright future. Thank you for everyone who watched this video. I know this is a bit of a departure from my usual style, but I've been wanting to unpack these thoughts for a little while. If you'd like to support more videos like this, you can find me on Patreon. Your support lets me bypass the algorithms, nonsense, and focus on making content I actually care about. Also, thank you for 20k subs. You guys are the reason I keep doing this, and I can't thank you enough. If you disagree with me, as always, feel free to let it out in my Twitch chat. Come shout at me. I'm live every single day, 11 AM GMT, and I'll see y'all there. Peace.